Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface with my latest episode of What Did I Just Watch? Starring Star Trek Discovery, as it always will, because I really haven't a clue what on earth is going on with this show anymore. It is just an absolute pile of trash. But before we get into it, look, I got to say a couple of things, okay? I was do my regular Wednesday night stream with Robert Mayer Burnett, and as it invariably does, towards the end of each episode, we kind of sneak in a little bit of Star Trek talk, because we're both massive Star Trek fans, and so we do like to go into a little bit of Trek here or there. And I was saying this week that, my personal favourite Trek is Next Generation, and there are just so many incredible stories that you can think of from the Next Generation that have held the test of time 30 plus years later. And it would be very disrespectful of me if I didn't say the TOS, the original series, going back to Kirk and Spock, incredible episodes, which are still up there. And that's what, 50 odd years or so later. Absolutely more. Absolutely incredible. Stood the test of time. Why? Because they were well written, they were fun, they were exciting, they were serious, they were scary, they had a great message. Whatever it may be, the episode stuck with you and will probably stay with me till the day I die. There isn't a single solitary episode of Star Trek Discovery that I could possibly give two shits about. Not one episode have I ever watched and thought, wow, yeah, I'm going to go back and watch that again. That was amazing. No, not a singular one. In actual fact, most episodes go in one ear and out the other because my brain is just like, nah, I don't need to retain this. This is garbage that just fills up hard drive space. Don't need it. Put it in the recycle bin. Right click, empty. This episode, this week, not only was so poor that it didn't even fit the time. They had to have lots of little incidental bits at the end with different characters to fill the time. Not only that, it was just stolen reference after stolen reference after stolen reference from better sci-fi shows. Which, of course, we've seen happen multiple times, particularly with this series and Picard. And today was so shameless. It's not homage, okay? There's a difference between a homage, paying your respects, and just out and out stealing. And this was just out and out stealing now. But don't worry, folks. There's plenty of bestest ever for all the whammons in this episode. Holy cow, the men in this are just neutered dogs. So, we start off by Saroo giving a bit of an overview, and he's talking about, now that we're back at Starfleet, we've had the shit fixed up, they've made all the repairs, they've integrated their technology to our 1,000-year-old technology, and we now have detachable nacelles for more efficient flying. You're in fucking space, you dickhead! You don't get aerodynamics in space. Oh my god. Not only that, it's the Discovery. It flies off the spore drive, so they just go whip, poosh. Detachable nacelles seem more of a liability because it increases the mass area and probably makes it more susceptible to being struck by, well, I say struck by meteors, but you could say as, but they wouldn't, of course, because of the deflector dish. They don't know how the fucking deflector dish works! They keep flying into debris fields left, right, and center. They have no idea how the deflector dish works in the show. Ay, chief. Fucking wower. So anyway, Admiral, Chief of Staff, #1, the bestest, the big guy. Don't worry. Don't worry, okay? It's just the light. He's brown. There isn't a single white person in power anywhere in this show because the inclusive and diverse show of Star Trek Discovery is purposely making sure that happens. Because inclusion, of course, actually means a bit of bigotry and a bit of racism. Because that's these people. That's their mentality. Anywho, Captain, I probably did it with a trill dude, says, right, Discovery is going to be our first responder ship because of the fact that it can zap immediately into a situation. Fine. That makes absolute sense. And I have to give credit where credit's due. Starfleet kind of looks like it's a, when I say a well-oiled machine, it looks like there's good structure at least. But that's all going to go out the window when they start giving the tech to the Discovery. So, 900, nearly 1,000 years in the future, the Discovery has been repaired. The technology of the ship has been integrated into modern technology so it can have all these upgrades. The Star Trek crew, the Discovery crew, you gotta keep your same uniforms. From 1,000 years in the past. You keep your same unit. You couldn't give them Starfleet issue uniforms so they look like Starfleet? But it's okay, folks, because they gave them shiny new badges, and this is going to be a source of hilarity throughout the course of the episode. And when I say a source of hilarity, I of course mean dog shit humor. Oh, I hate this show so fucking much. So, the chief of security, who's just a lieutenant. The chief, the head of security in Starfleet, just a lieutenant. Why isn't this a captain? Why isn't she a captain? Well, I don't fucking know. So they get all the girls together. Oh, don't worry. These two things at the end, they're girls. They just don't know it. They just don't know it yet. But they're girlsies. So all these gaggling, clucking hens gathered up, and they're given some technology, and they're all going, ooh, look at my new technology. I got a tricorder building, and I got a display, and woo, it's so cool. And hello, school children. Holy can you just pretend? Can you just pretend like you're Starfleet officers? Try your hardest. Pretend. Try just 2 minutes. Try and pretend that you're not a massive dickhead. New tech. You get new tech all the bloody time. You've seen heads-up displays like this all the time. Right, it's slightly more futuristic, but oh my god, can you see LaForge and Data and Picard just going, we got a new fucking pair of shoes. Got some Jimmy Choos. It literally, and then the girls at the end were just like, oh my god, that's amazing. You know it. You know it. I know it. Then they've got the programmable matter, which they don't seem to explain how it works, because the Helms woman, because it is a woman, the Helms woman goes up to the, not her, I think she's meant to be in charge, but she doesn't speak. This one here, I don't know her name. That's why she's this one here. That one there, don't know what her name, don't know what her name, don't know what her name, don't fucking care. So she goes up to a HUD display, and it's like the programmable matter, and it like zaps onto her hand, and she's like, what is this? What's going on? And the woman's just like, be right. It'll be fine. It's just programmable matter. She's flying a ship. Tell her how it fucking works. Oh my God. They could have had a montage set over music, or a montage set over Saroo giving a voiceover of them responsibly being taught the new technology, working it out, not acting like 5-year-old children like they do every episode, because it's written by somebody with a mental age of 5 for people with a mental age of 5. Oh, geez. Anywho, they get a message from a cat. No, they don't, but I just can't be bothered to explain it. Anywho, Michael Burnham's boyfriend, we're gonna get onto some stuff. Let's just all pray now to the demonetization gods that doesn't happen, because I got to say some stuff later. So Mikey Burnham's not boyfriend, of course, because he's perfect gen, and even though they're with each other for a year and they're totally attracted to each other, they didn't do anything because, me too. And anywho, he's been looking for the black box for something. I really don't pay that much interest. Maybe her mother's ship. It's meant to be some reason for the burn anyway. The black box of the ship, which should give some indication as to the burn, which of course is the burn. I can't take credit for this. Gary for Nerdrotic said this. The burn is actually going to be short for Burnham. Of course it is. It's going to be called the burn because of Burnham. We all know that. She's the key to everything. Well, I wish she would fucking lock herself in a room and never come out. Anywho, so he's found this black box, but he's been captured by slavers, and he's in troubles. But his cat's there, and his cat's big, and it's funny because it's a cat. Remember Spot the cat, not Spot the... So, let's just destroy Star Trek in one wonderful scene. And when I say wonderful, I of course mean dog shit. One wonderful scene. Mikey Burnham says, I got to get this black box. And I got to save, what's he called? Book? Paper? I don't know. And Saroo says, no, we're on high alert. There is a situation developing where the Pink Bunny Brigade are their enemies, are trying to pull out of a deal, or they're trying to maneuver a deal or something, and they have to be ready to leap into position in 12 hours time. So he needs everybody at the ready. Absolutely correct. Although, the ending just makes me want to puke. So Michael Burnham just decides, as she always does, because she knows best, to take Book's ship, which had the cat in it, which they pulled into the Starfleet, and go and try and save him in that time. Yes, Mikey Burnham, who was incarcerated for treason in the second episode, whatever. The first episode of the show, which was not the pilot, because that was like a completely different show altogether, whatever, is just going to completely disregard a direct order and steal a ship and go off and do her own thing. Not giving any respect to Starfleet, but more importantly, not giving any respect to her captain and her friends. Because Mikey Burnham is a selfish bitch. And she does what she wants to do. Why is she in Starfleet? Why? This is how not to be an officer in one horrible wrapped up. Bleh. I'm 6 minutes into the episode and I'm 15 minutes into the video. So she's like, she does her smug face. Look at her, look at her. Can I get the smug face on? Can I get the smug face on? Can I do it? Oh, she's not happy. Oh, I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, have a fucking cry. Right, so she steals the ship. She asks Giorgio if she'll help. And Giorgio's like, yeah, whatever, fine. So anywho, they're flying. And they realize that it's like some Bajoran exchange that they got to go to, or some slaver planet that isn't the Bajoran exchange. I don't care. And Giorgio's having flashbacks to her whole universe being gone now, and she's the only one left, and she's got some sort of, again, some sort of PTSD or some shit. Or she's developing feelings about not eating people. So they get there and there's an Orion dude and he's just like, yeah, we're going to do some slavey tradey business. And she's like, well, I've got dilithium and I want to buy some stuff. So if you don't let me land, then your boss is going to kill you. He's like, whoa, okay, come down. Tilly goes into a room and tries to have a conversation with a cat. It wastes about 2 minutes and it's fucking shite. Moving on. So we go to, oh boy, you can tell they've run out of all the money. They've run out of all the money for the show. It's gone. All the money gone. We're now just going to industrial plants to film because it's cheap and that's all we got money-wise. So they get to it. Giorgio is the captain and I missed a thing which I got to go back to. And Mikey Burnham is her slave. Eek, awkward. Anyway, when Book left the message, he said I'm looking for a black box. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude, have a bit more tact. Anywho, let's move on. So they're trying to flog her some stuff, and she's just like, this is tat. I need certain specifics. And then there's an Andorian who's had his antenna cut off, and people call him a traitor, and some people are nice to him. And then the show turns into The Running Man. 1987, I think, Arnold Schwarzenegger. The writer watched The Running Man and said, hey, do you know what? I'm going to steal all of that. So one of the slaves, and they've all got these like little buttons at the back of their neck. Hold on, there you go. They have these implanted on them at the back of their necks. All these slaves, whatever. One of them, this guy here, he steals a water ration. So the Orion slave trader is just like, hey, we try and treat you slaves well, and you stealing from us. And he's just like, come on, dude. And he's just like, well, I'll tell you what. Let's see if your thing works. Run to the perimeter defense. Who knows? You could get out. You could escape. And he runs, and they're shooting at him, so he's got to continue running. And then he hits the fence, and guess what? Yes, it explodes, and his head blows off. Yay! And it's just like, oh, you watched The Running Man and just decided to steal it. Oh, and this is where we got to pray to the demonetization gods. Book, of course, doesn't get angry because they don't want to write angry black men. Angry black men scare them. Book doesn't even get angry. Throughout everything that's going to happen in this episode, doesn't get angry. The one time he releases emotion is when Mikey Burnham, Mikey Spock, comes to the rescue, and he's just like, yes, women can do everything. I'm just a weak, pathetic male with 20% more muscle mass. Okay, anyway. Anywho, moving on. So he doesn't care. Stupid Trill Bint is seeing her boyfriend, who's actually a girlfriend, who identifies as a boyfriend. So I don't know what I just don't know what it's all about. Anyway, I can't remember what it's called. Stamos, Stambit, Stamros. I don't care. He's just like, hey, we gotta get ready to run into battle at any time. And she's just like, well, I'm just like tearing up the shipsies, having funsy onesies. Because I'm a genius. I'm a 16-year-old genius. And then she's like, hey, I just totally changed the spore drive so you don't have to connect into it anymore. What? What? Whatever. She's a genius. It just happens, folks. And so he puts his hand in this gel, which of course we've seen from Doctor Who, where you put your hands in the gel and it. So they're stealing from Doctor Who, the good Doctor Who, not the shite Doctor Who with Karen in it, and they're stealing from the Running Man. And then the women are still doing this plan. It's so boring. Anyway, she finds Bach and they go and they have a nice little, platonic hug. Because, it just makes his bread. And he's just like, he says, I've got the black box and it's in my quarters. I'm like, you're a slave. I very much doubt they give you quarters. You might probably be in a shack, but never mind. Anyway, whatever. That's the least of this terror show's problem. So she's like, right, okay, we're gonna get you out of here. And he's just like, look, I can't show any emotion. It's all got to be you. I've just got to be bland. He's green, by the way. He's very green. Tilly, who's an ensign, is telling everybody what to do. I don't know how that works. And this guy here, I don't know what his name is. I don't even know if he's a member of the crew or just, well, he's a member of the crew, obviously. I mean, I don't know if he's a member of the actual talking crew or he's just there to be, window dressing. But she woman-splains him. She woman-splains him. It's okay when woman-splain, but you mansplain. Anywho, Saroo is just like, hey, Tilly, can I have a word? And she's like, Tilly just immediately grasses up Mikey. He's just like, this is about Mikey, isn't it? And he's like, yes. And she's like, look, even though I love Mikey, Mikey's like the bestest ever, and I just think the world is just the greatest of places because Mikey's in it, I would totally tell the chief of Starfleet. And Saroo's just like, I was hoping you're going to talk me out of it. She's like, nah, she's lied. She's gone against you. She's disrespected. And then, of course, she's tearing up. She's tearing up because so emotional, baby. Every time I think of you, ooh, ooh, Erica, emotional, baby. Oh, Mikey's back. So after she explains all the proper stuff, which was she was insubordinate, she's disobeyed direct order, she's showing these tendencies which got her into trouble in the first place. She then turns around to Saroo, of course, and says, for the record, if I was in her situation, I would have done the same. And then Saroo was just like, no. He was like, no, if you're in her situation, I don't think you would. So the women are doing stuff, and they're just like, hey, we need to get the thing with the thing with the thing. And then Book's just like, right, come on, dude. I know people calling you a traitor, but look, they cut off your antenna because you resisted them. Let's fight. Let's fight. They're going to deactivate the wall, and we're going to get all the slaves out. And they're going to go into a transport ship and we can get out of there. So Saroo tells the commander that Mikey Spock has done him a dirty, and he's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Just like we all were. The women get captured doing a sneaky thing. They find the dilithium on a ship. So that's good, I suppose. The women, of course, who are, 3 pounds, 6 ounces each, easily defeat the men. They get the fence code, and then they deactivate the fence. The Andorian gets shot, but he's okay. Everyone gets out. And then Mikey Burnham comes in with Bookship and starts literally mass murdering everybody that moves. And then they destroy their ships. And that is 33 minutes into the episode, 34 minutes into the episode. And that is essentially the story. There is still 15 minutes to go, which they had to fill. They had to fill with just crap. Because they had nothing. Because this show is poorly written with garbage stories. So, oh God, Mikey Burnham's just like, hey Georgia, what's going on? You're having these blackouts or whatever. And Georgia's just like, fuck off. In a nutshell. Oh, Stamo, I don't care. He sits down and he's like, you're talking to yourself. And she's like, no, I'm talking to my dead boyfriend who's a girl. And he's just like, well, that's because you love her and you miss her and you're amazing. And then she's just like, oh, she thinks you're funny. He thinks, oh my God, I don't even know anymore. And I'm banging it and I'm only 16, which is really kind of weird that the show has written in a couple that's 16 and whatever. But, they are. So, that's what you... Anywho, moving on. So they have this really boring conversation, which I kind of zoned out for most of it. But I remember her saying, oh, my boyfriend thinks you're funny. And he's like, well, they're great. They got great taste. And then just like... Okay. Then Box just like, cheers, let's go into the elevator for a snog. So they have a snog. Oh, look, we kissed after a year. Dr. Gay gets into bed with his boyfriend and they talk about the scene that they just had in the cafeteria. Why did you do that? Then Admiral, Chief of Starfleet, that's what I'm going to call him. Chief of Starfleet says, we got to be working as a team if we're going to sort shit out. And then he said, but I got to say, Saroo, if you had come to me with what Mikey Burnham has said, then maybe we would have actually sent you on that mission to start with. Mikey's right. Of course she's right. She's the bestest ever. And he says, but, she's a massive bitch, disobeyed you, disobeyed direct orders, stole a ship, slunk off, all the proper stuff, of course, which we've been through many times. So I'm going to leave the punishment up to you. So Saroo's just like, gonna have a think. He's like, right, let's start crying, because we can't go through an episode without fucking crying for no reason. Remember when Tom Paris got demoted in Voyager? Remember when him and Janeway just fucking cried like babies? No, I don't. I remember her carrying out her duty and him accepting it. Fuck's sake. So, he's just like, look, even though you're the bestest ever in the whole wide world, I don't know if I can trust you, so I am relieving you of command of number 1. You will be science officer only. Let's cry. And then they do crying. And then she turns around. The fucking bitch. She turns around and says, Saroo, You're doing the right thing. And if that was me, I'd turn around and go, you're fired. Shut the... Don't tell me I'm doing the right thing. Oh, because Mikey Burnham, it's all about Mikey Burnham. It's all about getting her blessing, her approval, her validation. Oh, go for it. Look. Look, I'm gonna cry. Crazies, crazy wisies. And then it's over, and hopefully there's a better show afterwards. It was horrendous. The crown's on, I said. No, don't. Oh, fuck off. There we go. Oh, no, don't do that. I'm gonna get... Oh, no, the CBS tried to steal my... No, stop! Here. Have a bland character talk to another bland character about bland shit. So, yes. This... Oh, God. This episode was absolutely abysmal. It was less than half an hour, really, if you put it all together. And then they had to fill up the rest of the episode with tat. The writing is just of the most extreme garbage you've ever had the misfortune to listen to. The acting is pretty pathetic for the most part, bar a couple of people. Audit is great, and even though he's got tons of charisma and they make him really boring. And Saroo's good. I like Saroo. I do. I think he's the only ray of Star Trek in this nonsense. But this show is just trash. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links to in the description box down below. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.